There you go. I'm going to start again. So, okay, editor's note, take 2. I want to take a note before the podcast commences to state that this is our first time we've ever done something like this before. So please be gracious with the noise clicking sounds that come from the mic. This is our first time, so take that into note. All future podcasts episodes will be so much better. This is our first time, and we're all students, and we're learning. Thank you, and enjoy.
Hi, I'm Avery. I'm Avery.
Gwen.
Did it work?
I'm Freya. Haha.
Gwen. Believe it or not, my name is also Gwen. The homies are all Gwen
like you're
today.
Freya.
Gwen.
Hello, everybody. This is the first episode of the Courier Corner. I'm Gwen Pemberton. I'm one of the co-hosts. I'm a third year at Capilano in the Communications Studies program, and I'm also the Arts and Culture editor here at the Courier.
And I'm Avery Nowicki. I'm a third-year creative writing major, as well as the community editor for the Courier.
All right. And before we begin, we would just like to acknowledge that we are recording from the traditional and unceded territories of the Lillooet, Musqueam, Sechelt, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. We are guests on this land, and we appreciate it very much.
This month, we would like to highlight the Secwepemc Center on our campus. This center highlights Indigenous students and offers programs both for Indigenous and non-Indigenous students. This can be a safe space to study, eat your lunch, do whatever you need to do. It's a really welcoming center, whether you're Indigenous or non-Indigenous. And if you'd like to check anything from them out, you can do so with Capu Indigenous on Instagram.
For anyone who doesn't know, the Courier is the student-run newspaper at Capilano. Do you have anything you wanted to add? I know you... Avery's new with us, and you were at the street party this year, right?
I was, yeah. It's my first year as an editor. Before that, I was mainly doing contributing work. Yeah. But this year, I got to work behind the cusp desk, and it was really exciting. I got to meet so many new students who didn't even know that the Courier existed, which baffles me. But I think especially adding a podcast is another way for us to get students engaged and to kind of...
Yeah, a lot has changed for us this year. Sorry, I just want to bring it up. We have our new issue, our September issue
really
just
pretty.
Came out. I mean, for us, it came out about an hour ago, but for everybody else, it's been on stands for a while, so hopefully you've had a chance to check that out. But yeah, I was just saying we've had a big year at the Courier. A lot has changed. We've grown quite a lot. That's why we have a podcast. We just want to include as many students as possible who might not want to contribute directly, but want to be a part of the conversation. So I guess maybe we should bring on Matt and Freya to talk a little bit more about that. How do you think?
Yes, definitely.
All right. Transition time. Okay. So we're transitioning back in. Now we have two more guests here. We have Freya Emery, the Courier editor-in-chief, and we have Matt Shipley, the coordinating editor.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for having us.
Welcome.
Lovely.
Oh, yeah.
I have to remember this is an audio format every once in a while.
I know, it's
okay.
No, the new voices. It's so scary.
Yeah.
Okay, so we brought you guys on because it's been a big year, as I'm sure I've said 8 billion times by now.
Yeah.
And you two were the two of the
Spearheaders, yeah.
Spearheaders, yes. And you two spearheaded the growth. So can you tell us a little bit about what's gone on in the last couple months?
Yeah. I can get us started. Over the summer, Matt and I did a lot of big changes. A lot of new things happening. Obviously, we now have a podcast. This is
That's crazy.
brand new, really wild. Same with the whole video production team. If you guys didn't know, behind the scenes right now, we currently are looking at a lovely production team.
There are too many people watching us.
Too many people watching us.
Audience.
So that's really exciting. The Courier has never had a video production team. I don't think ever. So this is brand new for us. We're all starting very fresh.
I think our most popular YouTube videos before this year were recipes. So
Literally.
You're somebody was
Somehow
getting their
not surprised.
haircut. That was a video.
Yep, there was a haircut video, a tour of residence from when it first opened.
Oh, I remember that one.
So we needed to start fresh. It's been a minute. Yeah. Do you want to talk about last year and how that went? Because it was very different.
Last year was fun. That was a pretty good way of summing it up. Yeah. But essentially...
so much fun.
Yeah, it's so good.
We were going through a bit of a rough patch, especially last fall. We were putting out our issues like 2.5 months late.
Yep.
And in January, it was Freya and I as co-editors in chief, and then Jade, our opinions editor,
Who is still with us.
Who's
Who is
still
still
with
with
us.
us.
Lovely,
We love Jade.
lovely.
we love Jade.
Yeah.
But that was it.
That
It was
was it.
just the three of us.
It was just the three of us holding
for
on
a
by
whole
a thread.
month's production, and Freya took the pay for EIC that month because I was basically useless.
You were having jaw surgery,
I
so
was
it's
having
not
jaw
useless.
surgery,
It's a valid
but
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a intense moment
Oh, for sure.
for sure.
But and then the turning point really came at NASH at the end of February, which
Yeah.
is the annual Canadian Student Journalism Conference. Believe it or not,
Do I believe it?
believe it or not, the Canadian University Press is the longest standing national university press organization in the world.
He had
pretty
that
big.
all in his brain. He didn't even have to check.
No, no notes or anything.
They
even know that.
they
That's
stress it
crazy.
pretty hard at NASH. Fair enough.
Yes,
They
they did.
did.
They did drill
Yeah,
it into
they
us.
drilled it into
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we were all there. We saw a whole bunch of workshops. Freya was so instrumental in the things that you picked. You know, the printing workshops, the management workshops.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was
That was really good.
yeah.
And for
Really important.
the listeners, all of us who went was myself, Freya, and Matt. Those
yeah.
were,
It was only three of us who
Yeah.
went,
yeah.
and yet it was
group.
it was super tight knit.
Right.
We all
it was a very last minute trip, so
Yep.
Freya and I got to know each other very well. We had probably met
Yeah.
2 weeks before we were like, okay, now we're sharing a bed. That's
literally. Yeah.
We onboarded you maybe a
Yeah.
week before NASH.
You
We're like, hey, do
onboarded-
you want to go to Toronto?
Yeah, you onboarded me, and then I boarded the flight.
Literally. That's how it went. It was super close quarters, but it was a lot of fun.
We had a good time.
We had a lot of good times.
We watched a lot of Canadian Bake Off.
Yep,
We
and
did. That was
Jealous.
Yep, that was really good. Yeah, I think that was a big turning point for the Courier was Nash because, well, for instance, I learned that we needed new printers. That was a big thing, which for the Courier, we print issues and we need printers for issues. So that was
But
a big
our printers
moment.
had issues.
But our printers had issues.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm only here to be just like a joke machine.
A little comedic relief on the side.
it's great.
Number
we
one
love
job
it.
of a podcast host.
Literally. Yeah, so last year was a huge turning point. We got Gwen on the team, which was amazing, and then shortly after we had Bridget, who is still our news editor. Shout out to Bridget, we love you, girl. So at that point we were a team of 6 people, and then we
Yeah.
had Lucy too, our social media manager, who still is working with us, love her. So we were a team of roughly 5 to 6 people, and then now we are a team of 20,
So exciting.
which is ridiculous to
It's a
say.
crazy number.
Yes.
With a
It's
countless
wild.
amount of contributors also.
Yeah.
So
Right.
many new contributors, so many new illustrators, a ton of people.
We
Exactly.
love all of our contributors. We've had a lot come with us. We
Mhm.
have some that have been very long standing and we love them so much. But
Yep.
this year we're super excited because there's a lot of new people coming who want to illustrate for us, who want to write for us. And yeah, we're just happy that we get to get more voices out there.
Definitely. Big shout out if you do want to contribute or you're curious on what that looks like. Cameras.
What?
We are always looking for new contributors. We put out a video semi-recently where I awkwardly went in depth about how to contribute with us. I'd recommend looking at that video, but if you don't want to,
Sorry, is it on Instagram? Is it on YouTube?
it
Where
is.
is it?
Thank you for letting
Okay.
me. Like, yes, it is. It's on Instagram and YouTube.
All right.
You can check it out there. But
Also
for-
follow our new Instagram, please, and thank you. We're begging. Thank you.
Definitely.
Yes, our new handle is capilano.courier.
yes, it's not Cap Courier no more. Unfortunately, we should talk about
We'll get to that in
We'll
a
get
little
to
bit.
that.
I'll let you finish. You finish your your epic, and then we'll get on to some more recent Canadian news.
Yes, some really
Exciting.
important stuff. But if you do want to contribute with us, we're always looking for contributing writers and illustrators, and also people to feature their photography as well. We're always trying to show different mediums. But if you're ever interested in contributing or wanting to know what the hell that means, you can email editor@capilanocourier.com and I'll give you some more info. And we're always looking out for you. So, and we pay you guys really well. Fun
We really
fact,
do.
we pay we're one of the best student-run publications that pay the best ever.
Yeah, we're just the
in
best.
Canada.
Actually.
We're just the best.
Well, I
Point blank
I
period.
think we are, actually. I
We
don't
are.
know how much most
If other student publications want to
Yeah.
call in or guest and correct us, please
Please
come.
let us know.
Please
but
come.
Assumption, I think we are like one of the highest paying student run publications in BC, if not Canada.
Especially since we raised our rates this year.
right.
Yep.
Well, and UBC, they cleaned up at the JHM Awards last year. They're
Congratulations,
likely the
guys.
biggest publication, biggest student-run publication in Canada right now.
Mhm.
They don't pay their contributors.
They don't.
They do fantastic
saying.
work, but
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
they don't make as much as us.
The Discorder also doesn't pay their contributors, just saying, but
Yep.
that's fine.
Which
The Discorder also doesn't pay their contributors. I love them though so much, and I have an article coming out with them like next month, so I shouldn't say anything. They're amazing.
Get them to come on here and we'll talk about it.
There
Oh,
we
yeah.
go.
We're in a really lucky position. Like, we're so lucky that we have, first of all, we have our own office, and like it's really, really well run. We've got a great team. We can
Mhm.
pay people. Like, I think we're in a really lucky spot, so we should, we're very grateful.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
speaking of the office, actually, Freya,
Mhm.
could you talk about the new mural
The
that's
new
behind
mural.
us
Oh, yeah.
now?
Yes. So a week before school started, around August, myself, Andy, and Shell, our two crew illustrators, we went ham on this wall, painted a beautiful new mural. Originally, we had a mural that was painted by one of our old art directors, Cynthia Tranveau, who is also a muralist currently and graphic designer. But we thought we would freshen up the space a little bit, make it a little bit more new and brighter. The mural that was originally there was painted in 2019, so or even earlier than that, I think as well.
2018?
I think it was
Maybe?
2018.
I'm a journalist. I should cite my sources.
Same
It
here.
says in the
Should know.
YouTube video on our YouTube channel. So if
It
you're
does.
interested in more info on that, you can check that out there.
Yeah. There's beautiful video that our production team did for that. Shout out to them again. So yeah, if you want to learn more about this lovely mural, we have a whole video up on that on our YouTube and Instagram.
You
about
can
that
also
too.
learn about our cleaning of the office process. That was really fun.
That too.
That was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a
Yeah.
good day.
We
We
will
found a
not tell you
lot
about
of
the
spiders.
bugs. Oh my god, the bugs we found. Disgusting.
many bugs.
Terrible. Actually
Terrible.
disgusting.
We also tripped an emergency wire and security had to come check on us, but
Yep.
everything was all right.
In the video about painting the mural, you'll also see a little footage of the security guard poking his head around the corner, checking us to make sure
Yeah.
everything was
You
We
fine.
guys
didn't break
okay?
any windows. It's okay.
It's all
More
good.
people than I've ever seen in this room. What's going on?
Yeah, I know. A little bit suspicious. So yeah, that is pretty exciting. We wanted to make this space look a lot more comfortable for us.
Yeah, make the space bigger because of how many more people are in here now.
Exactly. We actually use this space now where over COVID it was just collecting dust.
Yes.
So very lucky for that.
Yeah, what has been the first thing you've noticed with, especially with our pitch doc and so many people contributing? Have you noticed a difference in the types of issues that are getting pitched and the types of different ideas that are coming in from people?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't usually work or manage like people pitching us. That's more Matt. But typically within our team, we pitch the articles and then we have our contributors pick up the articles. But I did notice that there was a massive influx of contributors wanting to work with us. For our editors would know from experience that the second that we send out our pitch doc, within the hour, half of the pitch doc has already been collected by articles. So that is incredible. That happened probably around the December issue of last year. So around January, December was when there was a massive influx somehow. I don't know where it came from.
We bought coffee
before-
with the Courier back, remember?
I think that was
Yeah,
it.
that
I
was
think it
it.
was coffee with the Courier
We
that
left
really
our
helped.
dingy office
Yeah,
and we went to go talk to the public.
we actually talked to people. I think that's what did it.
Right? Yeah.
For those unaware, can you say what Coffee with the Courier was? I
Yeah.
also don't know.
Totally. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, take that
So Coffee with the Courier, we drag a bunch of issues down to the Birch
back. Cafeteria.
cafeteria on that table where like the CSU people sometimes sit, like the dental plan people sometimes
Yep.
sit. So we take that table, we fill it full of old issues, and
free
we just
coffee.
sit there and give you free coffee, free hot chocolate, and we talk about words and stuff. It's a lot of
Can we
fun.
do
It
that
was-
again? I want to do that again.
Yeah,
could
we
do that
could.
yeah.
We could do
Yeah.
that again. It was fun. It was a
Definitely.
nice Wednesday afternoon. It was just basically the three of us carrying heavy things up and downstairs for about an hour, and then we
Yeah.
just chill and have lunch together.
Yeah.
It was
Talk
very
to
fun.
whoever's willing to make eye contact with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was also a good way to get rid of our old issues.
yeah.
If you've ever visited our office, you'll know that we have a wall of issues going all the way back from 2019. So we need to get rid of those. Most of them are from COVID years. So that was a really good way to get rid of old issues as well.
Yes. You also made some new buttons out of old issues. Some
We
new
did.
little pins.
Yep.
You guys
Yep.
might have seen those at the Capu Street party. Or
Yep.
if you want another one, I think we might still have a couple kicking around the office.
We might have some. We're probably going to print out some others for future events as well too.
Okay.
It'll
keep
be
your
a-
eyes peeled. I guess
an
you
There'll
have
be a
to-
ongoing
second
thing.
run.
Yes, for sure. Yep.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Is there anything else you guys want to highlight about the restructuring, shall we say, of the Courier before we move on?
I'd just say, like, the more, now that we have so many editors and so many more contributors coming in, super keen, wanting to pick up articles, you know, the more diverse topics we're able to cover, the more news we can talk about every month, the more culture we can highlight. It's really exciting. We have a lot more diverse points of view on the Courier now. And in our contributor list, you know, people pitch us, you know, something that none of us have even thought about. And we're like, that is really cool. And that didn't happen in COVID. We just didn't have enough interest, didn't have enough people on the team. So now that we do, we can cover a much larger variety of stuff. And I think that's really cool.
And if any students think of anything else that they want us to cover, they should email us. Send an email to Freya at editor@capilanocourier.com
Correct.
or
Yep.
to myself or to Matt. And we just want to hear from everybody.
Definitely. Yeah, that is a big thing. We are going to be in the office as much as possible. So if you do find yourself on campus and would like to say hi, feel free to. We always are wanting to see new friendly faces. In-person pitches are the best thing to do. So if you're a contributor and have an article idea and you haven't seen the Courier do it before, please just stop by and we'll talk about it.
The couch is really comfortable.
The couch is super comfortable.
Couch is really nice.
I won't lie, I've taken a couple of naps on it
Oh,
myself.
I've definitely slept on this couch.
It's
yeah.
super good. Yeah, so please drop by. We're always welcome. If you do not find yourself on campus that often, we also have our office hours booked on our website currently.
Yeah.
So feel free to just book in a meeting for any of the people or any of our crew members that have office hours, because we're always there for you guys. That's what they're there for. If you have any questions about us or really just want to talk to us, that's what they're there for. So
Awesome.
very exciting stuff.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
Okay, Avery, unless there's anything else you wanted to highlight, I think maybe we should pivot to the reason that we have a new Instagram account.
Yes.
Oh,
I think we
yes.
can go
big-
there
I
if
think
we
can
have
go
to.
there.
The
Yeah.
big topic.
They told us we had to.
Yeah, pretty much. Do you want to talk about it since
All
you have
right.
a little bit more information than I do?
So, Bill C-18 is essentially a bill introduced by the Canadian government that would force tech companies to pay news websites and any news dissemination service really for their services and to be able to post their news on their platforms. Essentially, it's legislation introduced to make sure that journalists are being paid fairly for the work that they do. And funny enough, the government tried this once before, and the tech companies threw a hissy fit, and they were like, we're not going to show Canadian news at all. And the government backed down.
Yeah.
This time, they brought it up again. The tech companies did the exact same thing. So our old Instagram account is blocked, as are most, if not all, of the student publications, as are all of the national publications and provincial publications. Totally blocked on Instagram. You can't see them on Facebook or anything like that.
Are they blocked on Google as well?
I believe they're blocked.
I believe
on
they're
Google.
blocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although our YouTube channel is still up.
Our
Yes.
YouTube channel
Thankfully.
is still up, and
There's not news on there yet.
No.
Fair enough.
However, if you do go on the Instagram app on your computer on Chrome or Safari, you can still see our stuff
Mhm.
on Instagram of our old account. So it's just on iPhones or phones. It's super strange.
Weird.
Where it's the app of Facebook or Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
But however, if you go on your computer, you can still see it.
Mm-hmm.
Ignore it, please. We're now using a completely new handle because we're trying to get our way around this thing.
That
So
will probably be on the screen, in the show notes, in
Yep.
box.
Eli-
Enter pop-up.
Okay. Yes,
Eli
enter
can do his
pop-up.
Got a pop-up.
Thanks,
Sweet.
Eli.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so very, very important things.
Mhm.
Unfortunately.
And we are in support of that bill, right? I mean, I believe
Yes.
that we did vote. CUP, the organization that ran the national the student journalism convention,
Mhm.
we held a vote. Correct? Did
Yep.
Yeah.
either of you want to
Yep.
speak about that at all?
Yeah.
We did.
That was an interesting meeting.
It It was very awkward, to be completely blunt.
I was sitting outside Starbucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very strange. I only attended half of the meeting, but it was very strange where a lot of publications were just trying to understand like what CUP's stance was on this,
Yeah.
because they were coming at it as very neutral. And as student publications, it's always nice to know when your organization you're with has a stance, so you can have some sort of help and direction, especially if you're new student journalists and you are confused at this thing. So a lot of the publications like ourselves were like trying to figure this out. We're very lost. Yeah, it was a very awkward meeting. You were there for longer than I was, though.
I was there for that. And in the end, nobody voted no.
Yep.
Some publications abstained, but we did overwhelmingly vote in support of C18. So the way that worked was CUP, Canadian University Press, which is the organization that represents all of us. They were taking a neutral stance until as in the publications, came to a vote and decided what we would want to do in the realm of C18. And now the Canadian University Press, or back when C18 was still under review, Canadian University Press, after the vote, came out in support of Bill C18 because of all the publications who did the same.
Yeah. So that's basically a very long way of saying we're working on it. We are a little bit lost, but we're going to try and weather the storm, and please follow our new Instagram account.
Yeah, we're evolving. You know,
we're
doing new things in a lot of ways, and social media is kind of another version of our new things.
Shout out to Lucy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Big shout out to Lucy. She's doing amazing work.
I'm glad we have a job for her still.
Exactly. A little bit worried at one point, but everything's going great. Yeah. That's pretty
Wonderful.
much it.
Well, I think that is all we should do for today.
Awesome.
We're good to go.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
thank
being
you.
here.
Of course.
Awesome.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.
Kick us off the stand.
We're off.
Do you think it went well?
I think it went well.
I think it went very well. I think our co-hosts were wonderful.
Yes.
Now back to us.
I think our guests knew a lot about what they were talking about, and I
And
was
I-
just feeding them lines.
I know for hosts we were quite quiet. I suddenly realized I don't really know much about this.
I was in the meeting for a brief moment.
I wasn't even there.
I mean, hey, you didn't have the job yet. That's all right.
That
it's
is
not on
true. Are we going again this year though?
you. Yes, but I don't think it's in Toronto.
Isn't it? I think they said something at somewhere else.
It's I think it's in Edmonton.
Yay!
I will be in Europe, so I will not be
Oh,
able to
you will-
attend.
I'll take your place. Don't worry.
Yeah, no,
Yeah. I guess I'll go to Edmonton. Next, we'd like to highlight 2 articles, one illustrator and one writer, from this month's issue that we think are particularly interesting. First up, we would like to highlight Ren Zhang for her opting out article. This was a really great and also very resourceful article. Unfortunately, the deadline for it does end before the podcast, but it was great and it did end up helping a lot of people. So for our healthcare system at Capilano, you were able to opt out of your healthcare services, and Ren took a lot of time doing some really extensive research that was really essential. So yeah, it turned out to be a really great article.
Thank you so much, Ren. Yes. I didn't know this until my second year, so I gave them my money, and now I'm glad that I get to keep at least a little bit of my tuition.
I know, I've never used it for literally anything. So if you don't want your healthcare plan, next year you can opt out. It's very exciting.
We recommend that you stay on it if you're not covered otherwise, though.
Yeah, you need to get healthcare.
Yeah.
Go to the dentist, please. There's a dentist on campus. We recommend it. It's apparently
they
very
really
good.
want you to go there, and they'll give you a free electric toothbrush, I think. I don't know.
Sometimes, if you're lucky. Okay, and then for the artist, we are also highlighting our cover issue. Wonderful. Thank you. Do you want to speak a little bit about this illustrator?
Sure, I can. So this is Andy Poistola. He is our staff illustrator. He's worked with us for quite a while, actually. He's done multiple illustrations for this issue.
Oh, he also helped with the wonderful
did.
mural.
His initials are right up there, along with his Shell and Freya. Andy's fantastic. He's always on the ball. His illustrations are always gorgeous, and he's never had to chase him down for a deadline. So we love him so much for that.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got one that's really interesting coming out with a book article in our October issue. So keep an eye out for that one. It's
All
a
the
really beautiful illustration.
Spooky books. But yes, so this piece is all about the wildfires in BC over the summer. So he's got a gorgeous drawing of a hiking trail, and then there's the thermometer protruding from the cliff face.
Beautiful.
Even though it inspires a little bit of dread in me, it's very pretty to look at.
It is really pretty. The article was written by yours truly, not to brag, and you can find it. You can find it along with all of our other articles, both in the current issue, which can be found anywhere around school, and also online on the Courier website.
At capilanocourier.com.
Yes, which was down for a while, but I think it's back. So
Should be
that's
back.
good.
Yes, we had some back-end issues today, but no one needs to know that.
Yes, totally. Okay, finally, we would like to do a question from one of our loyal fans. Do you want to take us away with our question?
Okay, so our question of the week is one that inspires quite a bit of rage in myself.
Doesn't particularly have anything to do with journalism, but
But
is
fun.
a good question nonetheless.
All right, Avery, is a taco a sandwich?
I literally, who sent us this question? I'm
It's a yes
so,
or no question.
I'm so grateful for you to be contributing and to send us a question, but I have to tell you, if you've ever in your life considered a taco to be a sandwich, you do not deserve to eat tacos. That is ridiculous. That's like eating those tacos out of the bag. Disgusting. Don't do that to yourself. That's awful. Anyway, thank you so much. We will be accepting questions for every single one of our podcast episodes. Next time, perhaps something a little bit interesting would be good.
I think
but
some people are going to be really mad at you for that,
it is
actually.
it's a divisive question, and I'll give you that. So, take
Lots
it or
of
leave
people
it.
think that bread on both sides means sandwich, and we here at the Courier deeply disagree with that sentiment.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
No.
I'm so sorry to our audio listeners if the low end just dropped out.
No.
My monster voice is not popular among my friend group, and I don't imagine that will be very different among the listening public. So
Yeah, probably not.
I will try and keep that little monster to a minimum in the future.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I think that is all we have for this month's very first ever podcast episode.
Of the Capilano.
Yes.
No, I messed it up
of
again.
the
We are
Courier
called
Corner.
The Courier Corner.
I've been Avery Nowicki. I'm your communities editor and your podcast co-host. Thank you.
And I'm Gwen Pemberton. I am the arts and culture editor and another fantastic podcast co-host.
Thank you so much for listening. We will be back next month. Feel free to check out our articles and also stay tuned for our October issue. It's going to be very spooky and very exciting.
And come and look out for our September issues on newsstands near you.
Maybe.
No,
Okay.
it's there. It's there.
It's there, we promise. Okay, bye.
All right. Bye, guys.